Well, Your Majesty, I understand that you brought the Donald here to tell him something? Yes. Don, you know I love you. Of course. But I've been having foreign affairs with another U.S. politician. Excuse me? Let's bring her out. You bitch! Those 30,000 deleted emails were to the Queen, weren't they? And Melania.
I think you hawked a loogie just as we went live, not knowing you had a hot mic, as they would say in the biz. I don't know what biz that is. I'm not in it, but
I was spitting on your team on how bad they did this week, and by bad I mean good. So it sucks for you. But one of my all-time favorite parody tease clips, by the way, tribute to Her Majesty.
Yes.
And you know, it's always fun to resurface some of that content from 7 years ago now.
It is 7 years ago, so important to put it from that time. There was the world was a lot less politically charged at that point, where you could just have a little fun, take the piss out of people without, whatever. But yeah, man, it's fun looking back at those things. This is how we all got in the content game, and that is a funny one. For those that don't know, that's one of the series, cartoon series, content series that put us on the map. It was called Helmet Talk, and it was awesome, man. And we took all of the different logos, we put them on some helmets, and then we went around and we're like, okay, who would be the best voice of the Patriots? And it's like Marky Mark. Who would be the best voice of the Falcons? And it's like Lil Jon. What is your favorite voice? Ice Cube was good.
Yeah, Ice Cube was definitely good. I liked I liked the dude from Fast Times to be in, at the time, the San Diego Chargers.
That is true.
That whole division episode was classic too. But anyway, let's bounce in, man. We had a hell of a first week of football.
Yes.
You know, it was so much fun watching the games and, you know, trying to put yourself in the mind state of like, you know, I want these guys to do horrible so that I can do good. I finished in the top 10. I'm kind of happy about that. How'd you do, man?
Yeah, I didn't do so hot, man. I didn't do so hot. I feel like, but I feel like it's only week one, and I'm just getting in the game a little bit. I will say that congrats to you, man, because of all those hours and hours of racking your brain and trying to figure out the game mechanics, and all the times you were yelling at me, and being angry. And I guess you weren't really angry. You just have a very direct and loud voice. But a lot of thought went into some of those game mechanics, and cool to kind of see it play out. And we're continuing to add some people into the league and do some cool things, which we'll show today, man. But congrats. That's enough of my compliments for the rest of this broadcast. So I'll let you lead the show, man.
Yeah, right back at you, man. And that's where it ends to me too. So look, what I want to do here is I just want to kind of break down some of the highlights of the week and then kind of link it to how the game mechanics factored in and ultimately how it all worked into the scoring system.
And I will say we should go over, because we have Jack Silverman here, who definitely needs a refresh on the game mechanics. It's all about the teams doing bad things, right? So he's got 5 playing cards. And you want fumbles. Fumbles are good if your team is on offense. Fumbles and are bad if you have a defensive team, and that's the team. So let's go over like the basics of the mechanics of it, and then we'll rock in and see how it kind of played out, because I think you did a great job of seeing some of the standings and how it shook out.
Yeah, it was cool to put in all that data and then just see the entire league unfold. Kind of exciting, on the edge of my seat since Thursday, because Thursday was the kind of the teaser. But
that's because you don't fit in your seat. You either got really small chairs, is what I'll say. I'll leave it at that, or something else, but we'll say it's the chairs.
Wide hips. Let's just leave it at wide hips. But I spent so much time in this damn chair prepping this game. So anyway, so let's break down some of the mechanics, but I think it's really cool to see some of the practical use cases of it as well. So I want to be able to like showcase, you know, just in all this is visible, by the way, in the standings page, which is now updated. It's live. It's ready to go. You guys are going to notice that, like, you know, we're going to be updating and modifying things throughout the season. This is still just, you know, trying to find the best formula to make sure that people understand the game, that they can easily access their points. So you might see some differences in the user interface, just the overall presentation of it, but the stats are going to live on the stats and as well as on the blockchain.
So share your screen and we'll put it up here and we can kind of go through it.
Sure.
But we do appreciate everybody, because what's awesome about this is it's allowing us to really test out how the game mechanics work. And we ran these numbers through all of last season, like literally week by week. The spreadsheet that you had, Mike, I don't know if it was like a Rorschach test or like an airline seating chart. Either way, I didn't understand it, but I'm glad that you did.
Yeah, I mean, I can give a little glimpse of that if you want, just to show you. I mean, I had a question earlier today. It's like, how in the hell did you calculate all these things? So I'll bring that in just to kind of showcase it out and just show you how the algorithm is worked. It's just a simple Excel file that has a ton of formulas incorporated in it. So you just input the actual stats from the games, and it does the calculations based on the point system that we have. And then it spits it out to each of the owners based on the lineups that they had selected. And then that gets exported into this particular interface, which is a little bit easier to read, man.
There's no middle seats, and hopefully the middle seats are wide for you in that chart.
Definitely are.
Coming in hot, man, right out of the gate. You have the winners here. There's 2 winners, I guess 3. But right out of the gate on the standings, people can see who got the most points for doing bad things.
Yeah, so let's talk about the points in its totality for a second. So when we built the game, we wanted it to somewhat resemble traditional fantasy football, where somewhere around 100 points is a traditional good week. So as you can see, the top spot here on a very strange week for fantasy football and for football in general, just based on the way that things played out. The total points was somewhere in that neighborhood, so we're pretty spot on with respect to the overall point structure. Way down at the bottom of the standings, the lowest point total was 1.7, which we'll get into on why that occurred in a second. But that's really the discrepancy. There's clearly plenty of opportunity for that basement player to make its way up to the top of the rankings based on whatever happens week after week. So weekly, we're going to throw out these types of winners, just indicating who won the weekly point total, who was 1 yard short, basically whoever came in second. And then, of course, you can't have a loser fantasy league without showcasing the loser of the week. So that one's going to get some accolades as well.
They couldn't even lose right. They couldn't. And what's funny about this, not funny, because I think it's one of the things that we designed, but still funny, is the winner, I think, is from Australia. And the second place person is from Malaysia, and neither of them are football fans. So true to point, you didn't need to know exactly what you would do in this first week to be able to have a shot. And but there are going to be some things that will set you aside as we go through our new unfan free agency pool, which you'll get into later too.
Yep, definitely will. So let's break down I guess, we'll use Very Hoppy Spartan, who is the weekly winner, as the example. Congrats to him. Very well deserved. He played the right lineup, and
let's see what his lineup was. So you can go to the lineup and the set lineup,
yep.
right?
Let's go to the lineup page. So this is another new addition over the last 48 hours or so. We wanted to have the ability for people to see their lineups after they set their team. Now, this won't get updated in real time, meaning like if you set your lineup, these changes will occur, a few minutes afterwards or, shortly thereafter. But this is essentially going to be updated right before the weekly kickoff and the respective deadlines on when you're eligible to set your lineups. So it's a little bit more visual. It gets more of the logos out there, which is always more fun. This is only in the order of the token ID of your owner's pass. So there's no ranking structure here. So you can either search for your team based on your owner's pass. Let's use 14.
Let's check out Hoppy Spartans, what his league was.
And then we can go to Hoppy. So you can search by the name as well. Patriots. So this was Hoppy Spartans' team and their lineup that they selected. Let me pull the stats over here so I can read that live with you here.
So the offensive card was the Patriots, which, years ago, that would be the worst card to have in this league, but was pretty damn good, unfortunately, for me personally, this week. But Patriots offense, defense was
Patriots
Detroit.
Offense. which got, and I'll read the stats on that just so that we can
I don't
understand it a
really.
little
I mean,
bit.
I think we get it. You could kind of go to Detroit. We could
No, I
expound
think it's
upon that.
important that, like, we understand how bad New England did this week, man. I mean,
Mhm,
3
mhm.
turnovers, 7 points scored.
One of them was a pass interference, man, that they did. The guy was pulling his damn shirt, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, the ones who are paid to make those decisions disagree with you. So, overall, that landed a pretty significant point total of 29.3 points for that particular playing card.
Hmm.
Really cool to see how that all played out with, quote unquote, a good team who's 0-1 right now. On the flip side, Detroit, who is traditionally a good team to want to play in this type of league because they suck, and they're in a very difficult division. That defense gave up 38 points and had 0 takeaways. So their total point their point total for the week was 19 points, which if we go back, I'm just going to open a new window here so we can bounce back and forth between the standings and the lineup. So if we were to sort by the defense, you'll see that 19 points was towards the top of the total points that any defense accumulated throughout the week. So right off the bat, you have very happy Spartan with, I guess, 2 categories top 3 placing in the top 2 categories here.
Yep.
Special teams throughout with Tennessee. So Tennessee, what did Tennessee do? Tennessee got 6. They kicked the ball. They punted the ball 6 times, and they made 4 extra points / field goals, and netted themselves out with 14 total points. So it was the punts that really drove them over the line. Again, let's search and see what the point total looked like for special teams. Not really at the top, but definitely in the top 10. So definitely a good play on that one as well. Penalties, Houston. I believe Houston had quite a bit of penalties, and that was a weird game, by the way. So anybody who paid attention
There's
to
a
the
lot of
games,
weird games, man. A lot of weird games.
yeah, but Houston only had 40 penalty yards, which in the grand scheme of things was not that great. So I'm curious to see what the total on penalty yards were. Again, you only get 0.1 points for every penalty yard. So the ones at the top clearly had more than 100 penalty yards throughout the game. So, very happy Spartan, sort of in the middle of the pack on the overall penalties. Last night's game was a ridiculous amount of penalties that were tossed out there. So Denver has some discipline issues to work on. Win-loss. Obviously, this one is the most important card of the 5 playing cards. It's either plus 25 or minus 5. San Francisco lost their game, so Mr. Hoppy Spartan got an extra 25 points for that one.
Again, the team, if you have the team in your losing category, your win-loss category, if they lose, you get 25 points. If they win, you get minus 5 points. So really what you see is the big chunk of these first group in the standings had their teams lose, which gave them 25 points. And man, there were some upsets. To think that the Giants would have won ever, to think that Tennessee would have lost, to think that Pittsburgh would have beat Cincinnati. I guess this is why you play it out and play the game, because I didn't expect any of that stuff. At one point, I was watching the Cincinnati and Pittsburgh game, and it's like they were almost trying to throw the game, and like somebody was in this league secretly trying to throw the game because they missed an extra point. They missed a field goal. The other team missed a field goal. It looked like they were just trying to lose the game, and they couldn't. It was perfect un-football because they couldn't get out of their own way. But a lot of surprises, man, especially the Giants winning. Didn't see that coming.
I mean, the ball's on them too, man, to tie it up with no time left or 20 seconds left, whatever it was, and then opt to go for 2 instead of tying the game.
Yeah. That guy Brian Daboll learned everything he knew from Belichick, man. He was an assistant. I don't know if you know that, because but that's the truth. Yeah, he learned.
Yep, I did know that, and he now has a better record than Belichick, so kudos to him. Spinning it back to the unfantasy and the craziness that happened in this week, man. I mean, Cincinnati, who made it to the Super Bowl last year, obviously has a surefire go-to offense on traditional fantasy they actually scored the most amount of points in this gaming system. They had 6 turnovers or 5 turnovers, whatever it was. And, that in and of itself boosted them like right through everybody else as part of like the total points that were accumulated for the offensive category. So, again, kind of shows that like, whether you know what you're doing in this or whether you don't, any given week in any given category, man, you have a shot and you can really spike your way up to the top of the standings here. So week 2 is going to be cool, man. It's going to be interesting to see how like, the players at the top stay on the top or the players at the bottom start fighting their way up the standings. But we're going to see these weekly winners, and then we have our overall standings, which will be an accumulation total of all of the weeks combined.
Yep. And like another surprise too is Buffalo's offensive card. They actually won the game and scored a lot of points, but they had like 4 turnovers in the first half. So Buffalo's, I think got like 20 something points for this card, which definitely helps some of the guys at the top tier.
36.9 points actually. So
wow.
like they definitely overperformed on the offensive side, right? So, when we were building out this game, man, we were thinking like everybody's going to be shooting for Jacksonville. Everybody's going to want the Jets. Everybody's going to want Detroit. I think this kind of proves that like, looking back at Hoppy's card set, man, I mean, you have potential. I think you have 2 out of the 5 that did the Patriots make playoffs last year?
Yes.
Did
the Giants?
So 3 up. They did not. They had 4 wins. Okay. So 3 out of the 5 cards that were played in this set were playoff teams from last year, right? So you look at something like that, and then you look at the point totals that accumulated thereafter, man. I mean, this was the winner of the week in a league that's designed to, give you points based on them sucking.
Yep.
So it's really cool to see it.
It's great to see. Yeah. And again, so when you get your owner's pass in this league, you are given a starter pack, and I'll go over this a little bit for Jack, which is 5 cards. And each of those 5 playing cards come with a guaranteed category, which you need to play week to week. So offense, defense, special teams, penalty yards, and win-loss. So you get all of those cards in your first batch. There's obviously the ability to trade, to pick some extra up in either the free agency pool or mint a random card. But these are the 5 that were randomly generated to you for your team out there. If you and I wanted to do this where you don't need to keep buying cards to be able to play. That was important to us when we were chatting about that stuff. We want people to be able to play and have fun with it, even if they don't have the 15 or 20 bucks or whatever it is for the NFT. Again, these are digital collectibles too, so I think it's I think there's some value there. So, but when you get those, Jack, he wants to know how to kind of go through the process of setting up your lineup, which you could go to the unfan.xyz website. You click on the set your lineup, and then I'll let Mike take it from there.
Yep. So as you pointed out, that starter pack that is sent to you is your default starting lineup. So if you just wanted to run with those as your team lineup for the week, you don't have to do anything. You could just sit back and enjoy the games. If you were to pick up additional cards or trade or buy or somehow come into ownership of another card within a particular category, then you have to make a decision on which card you want to start. So, for example, like if I have 2 offensive cards, token ID number 5 and number 10, I would have to select only one of those cards and then set the rest of my lineup accordingly to make sure that the rest of my team sits in. I simply put those token IDs in, I put my team name, and then I click submit lineup, and you'll see a success message pop up that it's been confirmed. We'll get the lineup confirmation on our end. We'll then update the graph accordingly. And, as long as it's submitted before the deadline, which is about 15 minutes before each game kicks off, your lineup will be set and you'll be good to go for the given week. Hopefully that makes sense.
I would start coughing myself, man, as we do it. Yeah, I think let us know, Jack, if it makes sense or not. But I think you did a good job with it.
Cool. So let's talk about the free agency now that Jack brought it up. And, this is an opportunity to really get into the game, try to understand the weekly matchups that are happening in the league, and try to set the respective categories to maximize and optimize the best possibility for points. So, for example, if your offensive team is playing against a team that has traditionally a lot of turnovers, you want to play that team because you're going to get points for each time that offensive card turns the ball over. So, with that, we created a little free agency pool, which is available both on chain and off chain. For the purposes of this demonstration, though, we'll just talk about everything within OpenSea. But just know that, any of the Unfantasy team owners, you can purchase these cards both on using Ethereum, or you can just simply stay on this website and purchase the cards here.
Yeah, so on chain just meaning NFT dudes and dudettes that are in there have the MetaMask and are trading through ETH, or we wanted to make sure that we use this as an opportunity to help people understand Web3 and a nice, safe, easy, fun way to jump into there. But you don't have to do it. So people have the way to traditionally buy this either through PayPal or a card, and then those cards we store them in a vault, kind of hold them onto it from a digital wallet, because again, these are NFT digital collectibles. Once you mint them, they need to go somewhere. So we have them in a vault for people that either aren't ready yet and will have the wallet, and we'll send it over accordingly, or people can just go and do what they're normally been doing on OpenSea all along.
So this is the first option on how you can purchase them. If you are into NFTs and you do have a digital wallet, you can come in and you can make the purchase of any of the given free agents that are in the free agency wallet here. And then again, you can play these matchups. You might like one of the arts, the backgrounds. The backgrounds, again, are going to have a very significant impact in this overall project. So don't dismiss the fact that like some cards have good backgrounds, some don't. Each one is going to have a specific purpose at some point. So keep that in the back of your mind. Now, each of the free agents are broken down by their respective categories, and obviously you know which one you're going to get, so you can play out the strategies based on the weekly matchups to how you think these teams are going to perform, obviously in association with the scoring system. So what's cool about the way that this is set up is that, again, if somebody is not into NFTs or doesn't have a digital wallet, we also have the same exact free agency pool designated where right here on the unfan.xyz website. So you can come in and you can see the exact same tokens, the exact same cards available. You just click on that and you purchase it. Once you purchase it, we remove the NFT from the actual free agency wallet, and we transfer that into the storage locker, which ultimately, if you decide that you want to get a digital wallet, we transfer the asset to you officially. If you never do that, it just sits there in perpetuity. It's safe and secure there. And then at that point,
I was going to say, and we hope people do, right? That's the whole goal of all this stuff. We don't want to, I think one of the things that's been very much missing in NFTs is it's like you have one side of the fence that just are all in. They've been doing it for a while, and we've all been there where it's like, what the hell is this shit? And how the hell, what am I doing? Right. So we've all gone through that. But this is a really cool, fun way to jump into that. And we wanted to make sure that, and I have family that that definitely want to jump in on this, and we have our own little family side league and all of that. But it was important that we, I think we can help. I think we're different than most projects because it's either one or the other, right? You're either Web 2, which is like your Shopify stuff, buying a t-shirt, or your Web 3, which is, get your MetaMask wallet and mint this stuff. So didn't mean to interrupt you. Jack did have a question, I guess, on the game mechanics. This win-loss card is the Cardinals. Is it tied to that team, or can I make it win-loss for another team? It's tied to that team. So whatever card you get, like in your starter pack that you got, your win-loss card, whatever logo is on that, that's the team that that you could play if you think the Cardinals are going to lose. I'm in trouble because I thought I had a really good. I minted 5, so you get your starter pack, which are 5 random. I minted another 5 just to give myself the ability to play 2, and I got the Giants win-loss and the Eagles win-loss. And I thought I was in good shape with those. Of course, the Giants put an upset. Not the first time they've done that. And you look at the Eagle schedule and the Giants schedule.
A couple other important games that they upset.
But. Yeah, I just said that too. But
reinforcing it.
Okay. Yep.
It's Trash Talk Tuesday, dude.
It is Trash Talk Tuesday. I wish, I like the word shit talk, but Trash Talk Tuesdays, I guess it's a tongue twister without making you have a lisp, which you've started to get. I've noticed when you make fun of the Patriots. Just thought you should know. But
well, I need something to replace Taco Tuesday so I could fit in my chair. So
that is
Trash
true.
Talk
I
Tuesday
had a
sounds
burrito
good.
just now. I didn't even think about it. I just had a burrito. So I'm going to need to upgrade mine at some level. So I'm either going to mint one, and that they're random cards. You don't know what you're going to get, including I don't know if I would get a win-loss one, or you go into the free agency pool, which Mike and I will always we're going to open the free agency pool for people before us. So everybody's got an opportunity way before us to jump in and improve their lineup, which I think we both agree is important. But I'm definitely going to be eyeing some because every week or so there's going to be new cards that'll be minted and put into the free agency pool. And the quickest way, I think, that we chatted about, you can either go to this free agent locker, as they call it, or you can just go on the main OpenSea page and click the floor price, because those are going to be all the buy nows. And essentially, even if someone is selling theirs, that's a free agent, right? They're almost releasing it to you. So if you go on the main OpenSea account of this collection, you click floor price. All of the ones that pop up first are going to be essentially the free agency pool. So
Yep. And we will be adding more each week, starting obviously this week with week 2. So just to kind of define it a little bit more. So after this call, by this afternoon, the free agency market will be updated and it will open. You and I are prevented from participating in that until tomorrow afternoon at 2:00 Eastern. And that's when the free agency will open for us. So anybody that wants to pop in and scoop those up, you have a little head start before we can, or we're gonna lag behind, however you want to put it. But I
they're
think
also
that's important too, man.
very important. And there also is a little Medium article that we put out. So I can probably put the link into this, but make sure that we check out that Medium article, because it explains the game also and reinforces a lot of the stuff that we're talking through my mumbles and Mike's ineffective shit talking. You think it'll make a little bit more sense, but also goes into the backgrounds and why they matter, and how they are determine the rarity of the collection, and again why that matters. So it's important to check that puppy out.
Yep. So we talked about the 2 ways for free agency. You kind of hinted at the third. We do have the contract open for NFT people or anybody that wants to try to jump into it, where you can just mint a random playing card. It's a random category. It's a random logo. It's a random background. You don't know what you're going to get. It is at a bit of a discount because you don't know what you're getting, but it's a really fun, cool way to, kind of like have that opening your pack of cards kind of feel, where you don't know what you're going to get and you get surprised or you get disappointed or both. But either way, you have some really unique assets that you can play on weekly matchups, or even throw them up and try to resell them here on the free agency market.
I might mint one randomly just to see what we get beforehand, and hope I get. I like my chances, right? I'm. It makes way more sense, I think, to go in and into the free agency pool and pick it up. But I don't know. I'm feeling lucky, man. I'm feeling lucky.
Well, why don't you share your screen and do it?
Yeah. The problem is, yes, I can do that, I guess, if you can hold some air here, because Linda does have a question. If you want to handle that, I can do it. There's not enough USB ports for my ledger.
What is the question? I don't see the comment. Sorry. Oh, there we go. What does the end game look like, literally and figuratively, with winners/losers, or losers, I guess, whoever loses? We have very, very, very cool prizes lined up. Everything ranging from potential ETH prizes to tickets to NFTs to free playing cards. Bottom line here is, by participating in this league, you are guaranteed to participate in next year as well at no additional cost. Those same game cards are going to move forward. There's going to be additional ones that are added to collections as well. There's going to be bonus ones that are going to be incorporated. We have a ton of stuff lined up, moving things forward. I think the important part now, between, just for this season, is just trying to understand the game mechanics and getting everybody used to the fact that, like, these are the types of cards and teams that you should be out on the hunt for.
Keep it going, because I got to get into a different MetaMask account.
Got it. So touching back onto the weekly games, we did have a tie. So our win-loss total is either calculated based on wins or losses. So it's either plus 25 or minus 5, respectfully, if you win or lose. On the given notion of a tie, nobody likes a tie. Each of those respective playing cards will generate 0 points. So hashtag whistleblowers ended up playing the Colts, and the Colts tied the Houston Texans this week. So that particular playing card got 0 points added to their overall standings, which I think did not help her out too much, but I could be wrong.
I have a serious question. Do they make ties big enough for your neck? And if so, how far does it go down? Does it make it to your belly button, or is it just one of those things that makes it midway up the shirt?
I mean, I was a Catholic school kid, so I was forced to make and wear a tie every day of my life growing up, and I could never get it right on the first time. Always got to redo it because it's either extremely short and I look like Chris Farley, or it's extremely long and I'm tripping over it. But haven't worn one in a while. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but
yep, I got it. Cool. Juan for the money. Obi-Wan is up in the standings again. Beginner's luck, or we just set it up for these losers to win this league. I don't know. But Juan for the money. Yes, I didn't catch if Linda was a Pittsburgh fan or a Patriots fan, because I thought she had some.
Definitely not a Patriots fan.
Yeah. All right. Didn't need you, Linda. All right, I will share my screen live. One of the things, so Juan for the money is here. One of the things that we didn't even announce, but let's just do it right here, is one of the prizes that someone is going to get is a Muertos NFT, which is literally a charitable NFT project that Juan spearheaded, started up, is the genius behind all that stuff to help support Valley something hospital in Phoenix, Arizona, like the burn victims, I believe. So NFTs aren't just about like bro dudes making money and all of that stuff. It's about games and having fun and the applications we're doing here, but it's also about, you can just do charity. So I have one, you have one, I think I have two, Mike, because I'm that much more charitable than you. But it's every time I look at that thing, it's like, yeah, man, I did some good. I donated to Valleywise Hospital in Phoenix, Arizona. So that will be a prize to win here.
Yep, and it was my first NFT. So okay. Let me before you go and mint that, let me just share this real quick, and I'll just kind of get on that and showcase exactly a little bit more what you mean by the giveaways and stuff. So one of the things that we'll have, and we'll add a link to this to the website as well, just so that it's kind of everywhere that people can access. But for people who are not into NFTs and anything, we created a wallet called the Unfan Team Locker. In this is basically the storage vault for any of the digital assets that are out there that, for people who don't have wallets yet. So we have these saved. Obviously, the associated token IDs are identified based on the owners and the owner's pass. One of the cool things here as well is we're showcasing some of the prizes that we're going to be giving away as one of the featured collections. So as you can see, there's a Vayner Sports Pass, a few Battle Bunnies. We're going to throw the Muertos up there as well. We have some really cool other prizes that we're going to be giving out, over the coming weeks as well. As people start getting used to it, as people start understanding the way that the points accumulate in the game mechanics, I think these giveaways are going to become a lot more fun.
Yep. And the one that had been announced so far is the VSP, the Vayner Sports Pass, which, again, that is an NFT that actually comes with its own utility. That's an NFT that we both got into, Mike, I don't know how many months ago, because I lost track of time, just to understand their game mechanics and what the heck they were doing. But essentially, there's different sport icons, and they offer in real life and virtual events for their sporting clients, like, or for people to experience. So you can get on a call with Vernon Wells or something, a former baseball player. Mike's been jumping in on some of those things. Mike went to a specific event, but some of these NFTs that we'll give have their own utilities, including the Battle Bunnies, which we're going to give away. And there's the Battle Bunnies that we got. One is a Valkyrie, and nobody knows this from this project for the most part that's on here, I don't think. But the Valkyries, just so you know, is going to get you a free NFT. So whoever wins this UNfantasy League week when this is a giveaway, they're going to get a Battle Bunny that's going to get them a dragon egg, which turns into a dragon, and you get into that whole storytelling project from the geniuses of Krista and Frank Linatra. One of them is a legendary. So this is not what I'm messing around here. Like, there's some real good stuff here that we're giving away in some of the projects, which means something in the Battle Bunnies project. And one of them is a Spartan. So there's only 300 of these things. It's the Genesis collection of that. There's bigger plans for that. So these are no joke giveaways that we are looking to do. But I want to mint one. So let's just see here, I guess, right? See how it goes down. Share screen, share a window. And I don't see it.
So what do you need, first of all? Like, what are you hoping for?
I need a win-loss, or I need the Giants to suck, which I'm just not banking on right now. I don't have a Chrome tab. All right. You're the tech guy. You're the one figuring out all this stuff. All right, share. You see the screen?
I do.
Okay. All right. I don't know why I said it like that. I was like, okay. Free agency. All right. So you go to unfan.xyz. Free agency brings you on here. You got multiple options. You can go to the free agent playing cards. You can search available cards on OpenSea, or you can mint a random one. And let's do that now. I have to. All right. So here, mint. Oop, I almost went a little too crazy with that.
Oh, I guess you shared the tab, not the screen, because we don't see anything beyond you clicking the button.
Oh man.
Unless you suck at that too, because if it's any indication on how you played your week, looks like you can't mint it either.
I can mint. I can get it. I can get it up, man. If I need to mint it, I can mint. Okay.
One, unfan.xyz/standings. An email was sent out earlier with that official link, but you could just click on the standings button on the website, and all of that is live updated based on the result of week one's games.
Chrome tab.
Linda's trying to beat you to the punch, man. She might want to. She thinks you're gonna mint a card she wants.
No, that's not how it works. There's plenty for everybody. Plenty for everybody. All right, it's not gonna let me do it. So I'm not doing it right. I'm just gonna share the entire screen, and people will get the people can get that little effect at some point, just so I can do it. And then whatever. All right, here we are. Right now you can see it.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. So up here, gas is $7. So maybe that stops Linda from doing it at this point. Again, when you see these gas fees, these estimated gas fees are just transaction fees. Juan for the money, and Juan Palomino has been very helpful in our education. We've said it multiple times. But this is, you're probably showing there's some congestion or something. There's a lot of ETH transactions going on potentially. So these are the fees. You can see they change a little bit here. So the total for this is going to be estimated at $22. So I'm going to confirm that puppy, and it will.
I'm going to watch it come through on OpenSea live.
Yeah, you want to do it? I'll stop sharing this one. You can do that. Does that work?
Sure. Just let me know when it confirms.
Didn't confirm yet?
Well, it pops up on your screen, not mine.
Didn't pop up on my screen.
Transaction confirmation. All right, let's see. I still show 280 in the total collection here.
Yep, looks like it's the it hasn't gone through yet, but it will. Linda's probably clogging it up.
Yeah, she's racing for it now.
No.
Oh, here's one cool thing that we haven't discussed yet either, man. We touched on some of the backgrounds and things like that, but I think one of the important things to keep an eye out for as well is what we're calling our second string logos. So there's a handful of these teams that, we couldn't figure out one way to make fun of them, so we had to make fun of them a couple times. So they have these kind of second tier, more rare logos within the collection. Here's one of the retro versions of the Miami Dolphins. We have a more current version using their more updated logo as well. But these are really cool ones to keep an eye out for within the collection as well.
Yes,
as the Giants.
It did go through. The Giants have like 5 because there's so many. Whatever words you can put in front of NY, you can basically make a Giants parody logo. That's the only thing. It needs to be parody. It needs to be making fun of them.
Yeah, I guess two-time Super Bowl champion against the Patriots doesn't end in NY, so we couldn't add that one. But all right, let's see which one you got here, man. So it's going to take a second for the metadata to update, but these will reveal upon minting or upon display. So OpenSea usually takes a second. Looks like you got Dallas's team card. You got a win-loss.
Yes.
And then you got the background is the LA Rams. Looks like it's a plain background. And had you had this card in week 1, you would have scored 25 points instead of the -5 you got by playing the Giants, man.
And it's funny, man, because some of these logos are not evergreen. Most of them are evergreen. Some of them weren't. I didn't know if the Cowboys one was, right? Because the Cowboys is the star. It's in like a sling. Because Tony Romo was like popping his shoulder out every week, right? Every other week.
Yeah.
But how funny is this, man? Week 1, I feel like the season, the world, the universe was waiting for us to launch on this week because Dak Prescott, the quarterback, gets injures his hand in a freak accident or something, and now the Cowboys is relevant again.
Yep, and I think it will always be relevant, and that's one of the ones that I personally love because obviously I hate the Cowboys as a Giants fan. But just seeing, I will trade you. Who do I have? I have the Falcons, I think.
Done deal.
So you want to trade the Falcons for the Cowboys?
Yes.
You want to do this before you see what's available on free agency, huh?
Yes, I want to get the deal done.
Got it. All right, I'll trade you.
Okay.
Everybody's
heard it, but that's official. That's official. That's the first official trade, I think. Although my kid has been trying to trade like crazy, and I thought he was going to punch the computer screen when he saw your updated standings this morning.
Yeah,
he went to bed and he didn't know if Seattle won or lost. So
yeah, that was so weird seeing Russell Wilson in a different uniform in that same stadium.
Weird start to the season. Like Russell Wilson, former Seahawks quarterback, goes to Denver. They're not even in the same division. They just happen to play each other. They play each other like every 4 years. They just happen to play each other. His first game in some other uniform is against his old team. Same deal with Baker Mayfield. Although I don't know if anybody even knows who that dude is, was on the Browns last year. Then just recently got picked up and named a starter for the Panthers. Same deal, different conferences, and here they go.
Yeah, look at my new win-loss. That is a sharp card, man.
It does look clean. I did make a mention in that Medium article to some of them I just like the way they look, but to look for a couple things, and one of them being full sets. Full sets meaning the logo is in the background. Is the same as the logo on front. Those things just look really clean. They're cool. There's going to be some cool things that we can do with backgrounds and different rarities. It's also a really cool Packers and Bears card up there that just looks clean. Usually those things don't go together, right? But this card makes it look pretty solid. You got the rival cards. You got the Packers in the back, the Bears in the front. Sounds like a mullet, but yeah. Has Fanzo
let's show that
minted
one.
yet?
Here it is.
I don't think Fanzo's minted yet. Somebody randomly minted with a Moonbird, which is cool. But yeah, you showing something?
And that's another really important point here, man, because like just because the season started doesn't mean that people can't join anymore. So let's explain that real quick, because I think that's an important feature to get some friends, families, colleagues, even communities to come in, start like a little side league within the main league. But overall, the way it's going to work is that if anybody joins at any point throughout the season, that starting pack will retroactively add points on each of the given weeks. However, the weekly totals will not be impacted. So if somebody were to join, for example, today, their scores will not be included in week 1, but it will be included in the overall standings, right? So let me just kind of make sure that I explain that clear. The week 1 point totals are set in stone, but if somebody were to join now that we're into week 2, they would accumulate the points from week 1 heading into week 2. And then they would be able to vie for the top spot in week 2 and then the overall standings. But once the final game is completed for the week, that weekly winning pool or those weekly winners will not be changed, even if people join the league later on. I hope I explained that right.
I think you did, man. Yeah. No, like if you won, if it right up there, it says Very Happy Spartan, week 1 winner. Like that's not going anywhere. Are you putting that in the metadata or not? The week one.
I could, I could add the, and that's the cool part about this. Keep an eye on that metadata within OpenSea, just because your point totals, the point totals per NFT, your point totals on your owner's pass, they're all updated weekly with respect to your point. The game mechanics that are going to be in here, but we will be adding certain elements to that metadata, such as either weekly winners, how many times you won, how many times you were the weekly loser. These are all important little things that are going to be added to your owner's pass, just to have a little bit more bragging rights, shit talking rights, moving forward here.
Yep. Here's something I'm just playing around with that is not final yet, but I think it is important and really cool. And this is something that I don't think we thought of it. You may have, and I definitely didn't, but it kept getting brought up to me like, hey, can we start our own leagues? And what's cool about this is you can have leagues within leagues. So we have this, I started this tab just to play around with it. It's definitely not as smooth as yours, Mike, but this is the overall standings. But some of us are in the Battle Bunnies project. So all of the people that have Battle Bunnies and are in that project, we created a league, and they can kind of compete within that, which is really cool. I was playing with some of the food fight stuff, putting like divisions almost, making our own little league. The food fight dudes versus the sauce, and currently the girls are whooping our butt. But there's family leagues. There's so many cool things that you can do with this without any extra effort. One of the things that always sucked with fantasy for me is that you can only be in so many leagues. You can only update so many lineups, research so many players, understand so many different rules. Because is it a catch league? Is it not a catch league? But this is something that you can actually do at the same time simultaneously. So if say you're in the Battle Bunnies league, there could be giveaways of Battle Bunnies inside that group. In fact, there is one of the members that's in this league, Javi from Bored to Death, is currently not doing so hot in the Battle Bunnies league, but he is giving away to the winner of this league a custom 3D Bored to Death NFT for this league. So the winner of this Battle Bunny league, if you have a Battle Bunny and you're in that league, is going to get this, but they also get to play in the main stuff for the VSP prizes, the other stuff, the muertos. I don't know if I said that right. So I always self-conscious when I say muertos in the presence of Juan, because I can't roll my R's, man. It's just one of those things. I can't blow bubbles and I can't roll my R's. So I couldn't be on the Spanish broadcast of ESPN because those are two things you got to do in baseball and can't do it.
Well, we know you're things you can do is like, suck at a league you're supposed to suck at. So, that's pretty much given. So when you put that kind of list together, dude, it must be tough for you to see that, because obviously you're in a lot of those leagues and you see yourself at the bottom of all those leagues simultaneously. It must be a hard pill to swallow.
Yes. I guess it is. Nothing I can't really say too much about that. Otherwise, look out, because there was a time when you were you had the upper hand on our VR golf games, and that winning streak got snapped pretty hard. And so
I believe I started it again today, but
okay.
Anyway, final point here that I think we need to just kind of get out there is what's in it for the winners. What's in it for the ones that Linda's got to bounce. Always a pleasure. Thank you for popping in.
Mm-hmm.
The what's in it for the winner, what's in it for, the one who finishes second, which we're calling the 1 yard short, and then obviously what's in it for the loser. The winner of each respective week, they are going to be awarded and given out 2 of the playing cards. So we're going to mint and airdrop them 2 additional random playing cards. The loser of the week also gets 2. Obviously, they need more help. So they're going to get the same amount as well for being the absolute worst in the league. And then 1 yard short, they're going to get 1 additional playing card for, almost doing something, and then coming up with the second place of that given week.
Yep.
So one of the cool things that we're going to do this week, just to kind of, kickstart it up, because we're super pumped about what happened this week, how everything played out with the standings and the stats and stuff, or at least I am. Can only speak for myself on that one. We're going to give away another playing card to anybody who played a card that lost in the win-lost category. So if you accumulated minus 5 points.
What? No. We got to get, no, that's not how it's announced. That's not how it's announced. Got to get it for the record. First, I'm going to put the Telegram channel in here so they can get the official announcements and see it straight. What it is, it's your owner's pass. If you, whatever logo you have on your owner's pass, because again, you get an owner's pass and then you get your 5 playing cards. People are like, what's the point of this owner's pass? This is one of them, right? So why is there randomly minted logos on your owner's pass? You need to get a prescription. You need to get those like thick lenses, like those military thick lenses or something.
No, I feel like you're changing the rules a little
bit. It's written in that.
Right,
it's written in the Medium article.
Maybe I misread it.
That's like fine. The 5th thing you've misread on it. But yes, no. So the if you on your owner's pass have a team that lost in real life, then you get a free playing card to add to your deck, add to your hand, to play or not play. That it will be your question and only your question. But we will comment about it either way, as we'll do these every week, as Linda asked.
Yes, we will definitely be doing that.
I will put that. I'll put that Medium article in here too, so people have it, and we'll go from there. But that Telegram channel is just a place where we can kind of broadcast the announcements in real time. It's easier because some people are on Discord, some people aren't, some people are email, some people aren't. So we're trying to make this as obviously as simple as possible for everybody, and that includes time, right? We want to make sure that this is easy and fun and takes only the amount of time needed to make it still fun.
Yep. So the final piece that's going to be distributed today is the cards to the free agency pool. So give us about 30 to 45 minutes to get those officially into that particular wallet. And, we'll make an announcement within that Telegram channel that the free agency is now open, both on the website as well as on OpenSea. Again, John and I are banned from participating in that until tomorrow, but we will execute our trade, which we,
there's proof
I'm kind of happy about. I mean, I don't know why you're willing to part ways with the Cowboys. They just lost their quarterback. So,
well, you weren't staying up to date because he's not on the IR yet, and it's supposed to be a quick, speedy recovery. Or they're going to trade for Jimmy Garoppolo, So who the heck knows? But that's what I've heard. But either way, it's a
Still the
little bit of a
Cowboys,
risk.
man. It's still the Cowboys. I'll take it. And, worst case, I pick up more and I play the weekly matchups. But I
Yep.
really love that card, and I'm excited to get that card in my collection again. I just picked that one up on penalties because they did lead the league in penalties last year. So trying to play out those statistics and maximize my team to keep kicking your ass. So
Yep.
far, so good.
Yep. So far, so good. You stuttered and said it twice. I can't make fun of that too much because I've stuttered and mumbled through this whole thing. But the Telegram channel, again, if you have Telegram, there'll be a spot where we just broadcast all this stuff. I'm still working out those details, but you can actually you can't speak, like we can't chat and shit talk inside that yet. But there'll be another little group chat that people can trade if they want. They can trade, they can talk some shit either way, as long as it's good, clean fun. That'll be something that we'll put out there for everybody as well.
Cool. Anything else you want to leave it on for week 1 or what?
No, man, I do feel like this week, people missing blocked extra punts, missing field goals, the Cowboys quarterback getting hurt. I feel like this was week that was meant to launch because 6 years ago or 7 years ago, we chatted about doing an Unfantasy Football League. It makes sense. That's the beauty of it. The beginning, this content creates itself. The beginning of this stream, we showed a 6-year-old animation that we did, and we're going to be doing more of those things, and we're going to be putting them up to date. And this stuff is going to be super fun, and excited to jump in and appreciate everybody that's doing it as we go through this inaugural season that you own a part of. So appreciate you, and I'm going to go back to studying so I can have an edge on this week.
Just a reminder, the next game starts on Thursday night. So if you have any of those cards that are playing on Thursday night and you wanted to swap those out, just make sure you set your lineup accordingly before Thursday night. That's the next lineup deadline.
Was one quick question. I just got texted from someone that's not in NFT space, but they want their stuff is currently in the vault. Is it easier for them, or in your opinion, to do the MetaMask through desktop or for phone? And I will respond back.
My recommendation is through desktop, just so that it's a little bit more clear and you don't have fat thumbs that mess something up. And you can easily integrate it into your phone thereafter. We have some pretty cool onboarding videos that we can share as well if anybody needs assistance with setting that digital wallet up. In order to receive items and just to kind of get your feet wet, you don't even need to deposit money into the wallet. You could just start the wallet and then you can just claim ownership on it. We'll send you over those digital art files, and then you can kind of view everything on OpenSea accordingly for now.
Just make sure you keep that seed phrase, that 12-word seed phrase, out of the hands of everybody, but make sure you have a spot. And because once you lose that stuff, if you lose it, then these things can't be recovered. It's not like a password that you can get back. So that's the biggest part of that. But if you do that, you're going to be good. And let's put up our thumbs and see who's got the fatter thumbs to the screen. I feel like I'm kind of rigging the game a little bit because I'm keeping it close back so you don't see. But I mean, I feel like I'm not really. All right, we'll see you. We'll see you thumbs. That's the new nickname for the week is thumbs. First and thumbs.
Cool. Well, again, keep an eye out for Telegram for the announcements on free agency. That's coming up next.
All right, we'll see you, man.
All right, guys.